All right, JJ Solomon here with the Spit Bucket Podcast, here with Manny Robles, trainer, mentor of Vergil Ortiz, getting ready for the fight on Saturday against Michael McKinson. Hey, how was training, man? How did the camp go? How did camp treat you, and how you seen Vergil?
It was great camp. A lot of great sparring, great weather, great place to be, a great gym in Southern California. So it just went smooth.
Perfect. Yeah, we know Vergil made a change to his team and change to the camp and all that. How do you see Vergil adjusting to that and the changes?
Good. I mean, everything's going well. There's good chemistry, good atmosphere in the gym, good environment. So everything went smooth, like I said.
Any concerns of the injury lingering into the weekend and for the future?
Not at all. Thank goodness. What's in. The fight had to get canceled the last time due to his health issues, but all of that is put aside now. He's in great shape. He's in great spirits, and he's ready for the weigh-in tomorrow.
For sure, man. Well, last year these guys were in town. We had an opportunity to talk to Eduardo Garcia, and I asked him, who does Vergil remind you of? And his response to me was Fernando Vargas, as far as in the ring. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that? And if not Fernando Vargas, who would you compare Vergil to in terms of the past, the legends that we've seen in the past?
That's hard to say. I mean, I really don't compare Vergil to anyone. I mean, Vergil is himself. He's a different type of fighter, with a different breed. All due respect to Fernando Vargas, he's a very good friend of mine. But just like Fernando's Fernando, and this is Vergil Ortiz. So two different fighters. And, he's writing his own book. He's writing his own story, just like Fernando did. So,
Yeah, so listen, there's a lot of buzz about what Vergil's doing at 147. Obviously, he's got the size, the stature to be up to 154. But long-term plans, we hear a lot about Boots Ennis out of Philadelphia. What are your thoughts on a potential matchup with that?
Yeah, that would be great, but first things first, right? I mean, we got McKinson in front of us on Saturday night, and then after that, as you heard, this will be a WBA title eliminator, so God willing, everything goes well on Saturday, and we'll be chasing the WBA belt.
Got you. Any concern with the southpaw approach from McKinson? The little awkward style?
No, not at all, man. We had great sparring. We had about 7, 8 different, southpaw sparring partners that came in to work with us, so we're ready.
One thing we hear a lot, man, we heard a lot with Robert Garcia was Vergil's work ethic.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that separates him from a lot of these up-and-comers. It's not just a money grab or anything along those. He wants to be the best. What are your thoughts, and what can you say on what you see behind the scenes with Vergil's work ethic?
Definitely Robert's right, man. Definitely one of the hardest working fighters I've ever worked with. He's a workhorse, man. This guy's in the gym every day. This guy works extremely hard, extremely dedicated. So I'm sure he's eager to get back in the ring and show that on Saturday night.
And one last question, man. Obviously right now the big buzz is Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. A huge fight that the world wants to see at 147. In the event that doesn't happen, obviously we heard Terrence Crawford yesterday saying that there would be some interest with Vergil Ortiz. Do you guys look at their style, what they have to offer, and have obviously none of these guys are easy, but do y'all have a preference on what y'all would like to attack after McKinson if everything goes well this weekend and Vergil and Bud and Errol Spence doesn't go through? Is that something that has been in discussions?
Yeah, I'm sure. Fighters fight. Fighters like Vergil, they're willing to fight anyone out there, any tough fighters out there. Same as Bud Crawford or even Errol Spence. I mean, these guys are fighters. At the end of the day, you want to sit down at the negotiating table and get paid what's fair. And I'm sure that's the situation between Errol Spence and Crawford. If they're able to work that out, then I'm sure we'll see a fight. Well, we as fans will see the fight that we're all eager to see at 147 pounds, welterweight division. But if that doesn't happen, then there's always a possibility. It's just like I said, that's something that's got to be negotiated by the promoters. At the end of the day, they're the ones that make the final decision. Fighters fight. Fighters, and at this level, fighters are willing to fight anybody. But it's the promoters that have to sit down and negotiate and come to an agreement when it comes to fights at this level.
Perfect. I have one more question, actually. Yeah, Golden Boy, you guys got to have two superstars. I would call Ryan Garcia and Vergil Ortiz. Mm-hmm. Ryan Garcia gets all the social media attention and all this. Obviously Vergil Ortiz is a little bit more, you know, to himself and that sort of deal. He's more of a private character.
Right.
Do you see a chip on his shoulder, or extra motivation for Vergil to be the guy at Golden Boy? Is there any discussion like that? Any negative feelings?
You're talking about two different fighters. You know, with two different demeanors, two different characters. Vergil's different, man. It's night and day. You know, Vergil does all his talking in the ring, and you know, just like Ryan does. No disrespect to Ryan, but they're just two different people, two different breeds. You know, they're both great fighters, but they're different. They got different people, man.
Perfect. Well, Manny, good luck to you guys this weekend, man. Thanks for the time with the Spit Bucket, and I hope Texas continues to treat you well. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.